Hi guys, it's John from CRMD, and today we are going to be taking a look at activity management. I've received quite a few questions about how a team can keep track of their activities in Salesforce, and especially those who are working remotely in terms of making sure that they can see what other people on their sales team are working on. The way you do that in Salesforce is keeping track of activities, logging activities, and scheduling future activities. Today we'll start in Lightning and we'll look at the options there, and then we'll move over to Classic. We'll also be taking a look at a very basic level at the reports and seeing how a manager or somebody on the sales team can create a report to see their activities that they've done overall for a day or a week or a month, and setting those reports up. So we are in Lightning Experience. I would actually like to go to the leads section, and I'm going to select this John Smith with Walmart here. I've used him before in an example. And you can see when I open it up, I have John Smith's information here. And it's just, this is very basic. I don't really have too much listed for him because it's just an example that I created. But you can see in the middle here, I have this activities tab. So this is where I'm going to be logging my activities if I was calling on John Smith or trying to sell him something. And as a salesperson, where I'd want to keep track of what's going on with this lead. And there's similar setups as well on the accounts as well as the opportunities. And most objects in Salesforce you can actually attach activities to and keep track. So let's just use this example at the lead level for today. And you can see here in Lightning that I have 4 basic options. The first one is the new task, and I'll go over each one of these briefly, and then we'll kind of go through as an example as well. So for the new task here, I can create a new task and basically schedule something in the future. It's just a basic general option for me if I wanted to create something new, or I can even log a call right in with this section. So it's kind of just a general activities creation tab. The next one is log a call. And although it says log a call, you can actually log an email or a letter that you send or a quote or something other, or you could write in your own subject. And this is basically allowing you to log something quickly and just say it was completed. So if it's not something in the future and you just wanted to log something and put it in there, then you use this log a call option here. The next one is new event. So a lot of people have questions between task and events. So the task in Salesforce would be more geared towards a call or an email or I guess a letter or something that you're soliciting a client, whereas the event would be more in line with like a meeting that you have or a trade show that you go to or some type of actual event in terms of like an activity that you do. It's all underneath this activities section, which can be a little bit confusing, and it's logged in your activities. But that's kind of the difference between when you would choose the event over a task or a call or something. And then lastly, you have this email option, and this allows you to write an email right in line here in this panel. And you have your general options that you have with writing an email in Salesforce. I could put my to, it'll blind carbon copy myself, and send it. And once I hit send, it would actually log in my past activities. So you can see here, I just created this today. It's just an activity that I created that's called other as a subject. And that's in my history, so that's something that I completed. So let's take a look at that and how that was created. Let's say that I called John Smith today and that I want to log that in Salesforce. So call John Smith, left voicemail. You can have these preset options or preset field selections, but I'm just writing that in. And I'm going to pick today, the 9th of March, the name. The person that I'm contacting is John Smith, so it's a link to his lead. So I know when I search for this later, it's going to be linked there. Say I had an account that I wanted to relate this to. If there was also a Walmart account that I wanted to have this lead associated with, or excuse me, this activity associated with, then I could link that here. I don't believe that I have one. No, I could create a new one and link it to that as well. So that way it's not only associated with this lead of Walmart, it's also associated with the account. So that's when you would do that. Assign to John Pontius, which would be myself, so that I know that I completed this. You could assign it to somebody else if you had those permissions. And then status. This is an important one when you're selecting. So right now it's marked as not started. So it would look like an open activity, or it could be in progress, which would still be open. Completed, so that I could say that this is something that I completed today, waiting on somebody else, or deferred. So these, depending on how your organization operates, if you had an instance where you needed to wait for somebody to complete something, or if it was deferred and not something you'd be working on, you could select those as well. Generally what I see are these not started and completed, but sometimes an organization will use these as well. This instance, I'm going to say I completed it because I completed this call, and I'll click Save. And you can see that it's gone down into the call John Smith left voicemail. So I completed that, and I could have done that as well in the log a call, or I could have done something with an email or sending a quote. I'm just going to do another example. Let's say meeting. See, this is a pre-selected option that I could use for the activity. And let's do this one as an open activity. So say I have a meeting with John Smith on the 12th of March. And let's call it 7 a.m. That's fine. End date 8 a.m. That's also fine. Name John Smith, related to, yep, perfect. And location, let's say main office. And let's click Save. So you can see here that this is now in my open activities. So next step, open activities. I had these completed one in the past activities, but my next step would be meeting. So let's see where this all kind of comes together. If we go and open up the app launcher, I want to click on reports. And I might need to create a quick activity report here. So new report. And I'll just do this in Lightning so you can see it. And I had these options of choose report type. I'm going to go down to activities. And I'm going to select task and events. You could choose activities, all these different options here. See how you have activities with accounts, so activities that are related to accounts. We just did with activities with leads. But for this general example, I would like to select tasks and activities, which will pull in and capture all activities that I've been working on. I think that I'll probably only have leads showing up because that's what I was just working on as an example. I'm going over here and I'm clicking on the filters section. I need to customize this a little bit. My team's activities, I'm just going to open up all activities. Done. On or after, I'm just going to select date, custom, all time, apply. And I can see already that my open activity that I created, see how it's I had the meeting that's already showing up, but I want open and completed activities, and I'll click apply. So now this other one I created earlier on today, and this second activity that I created is called John Smith loves voicemail. You can see that that was marked as a task and completed, and then you can still see this open activity. So if I'm a manager, I could customize a report to see, okay, what was John Pontius working on assigned to today? What does he have going on in the future? And that's how you use that within the Lightning experience. Let's switch over to Salesforce Classic, take a look at how this is done in the Classic options. Let's stick in line with this John Smith. We're still in the lead section, but it's going to look a little bit different than what we were just doing. So here I have the new task button here, as well as the new event. And you can see down here in the log a call, mail merge, send an email, view all. So here's my open activities right here, and then here's my activity history down here. So let's just do, so I just created a new task, and it's assigned to John Pontius, which is good. Subject, let's say sent email, due date, I sent this already. This one I can create the priority level. I'm going to leave it as normal. Status, these should look familiar. I will write completed, and it's going to be associated with lead. Could also associate it with contact here, but I'll associate it with lead. And I can create this reminder, create recurrent series of tasks, sorry. And I could do weekly, monthly, yearly, if I wanted to remind myself to continue to reach out. So let's do that option here, save a new task. So it just saved that in my history, and now do follow-up call. Due date is 13th, so that's next week. I'm going to leave it as not started, and I'll click save. I have the reminder here as well for 8 a.m., so it reminds me to reach out. So now you should see here I have my meeting, which I put into the system in Lightning, and that's scheduled here. And then you can see this new activity that I created for myself, do follow-up call on the 13th, not started, and priorities normal. And you can see, let's see here, sent email was the one that I just created. So you can see that attached there. And let's go over to reports. Let's see if we just have, I'm just going to use this standard out of the box report. I will customize it very quickly. Open and completed activities. And we should see the ones that I created today. It's organized somewhat, but you can obviously customize this to what you need to find out and what you want to report on. So you can see this do follow-up call, one that I created. The meeting is still open, not started, and the meeting is just left open here. And then all my completed ones as well for this John Smith lead. And the same can be done here. If I click onto accounts and go into Burlington, so we're at the account level, account name, and you can do an activity called on account, call on account. So now I'm just creating an activity that I did for the account. I can associate it with one of the contacts on the account. Example, due date today, completed, and save. Yeah, so I don't have any contacts that I could associate it with, but if I did, there was somebody that I actually called on, then I could associate that with that contact. So that's how that works. And it's similar to if you're looking at opportunities. You can log a call on an opportunity. So say you called in particular to this, to this particular opportunity. You can log an activity here, and this would all show up within those reports that we were just in, that activity report, so that you can keep track of where everything stands, what your sales team is working on, and basically metrics you need to see about what the status of everything is. So I hope that helps and helps break down what the activity management is in Salesforce and how you can use it to your advantage. Let us know at CRMD if there's anything you would like customized, and we'd be happy to do it. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your day.